Friends, in this video for iThought Advisory, I am going to talk to you on the topic, the problem is not fees. Most people have developed a mindset of worrying more about fees than about performance. People believe that if there is performance, then there is a justification to pay fees. What happens because of this mindset is that when there is no performance, investors develop a reluctance to invest because they are worried that investing when there is no performance would lead to more fees. Actually, investing when performance is modest, for whatever reasons, leads to better returns and eventually provides a justification for paying fees. There is no denying that there has to be accountability towards paying fees. But in an advisory equation, accountability is a two-way traffic. I am sure many people would not like what I am saying, but I am saying this from my experience. When an investor is not performing that well in his portfolio, largely due to the overall market context, he has to focus on what he needs to do in his portfolio. Bringing about investment actions should be as much his priority as it is the advisor's responsibility. But what I have seen is that when the advisor tries to fulfill his responsibility and tells the investor valuations are down, let's put another 5 or 10%, or let's invest regularly into these parts of the market. When the market goes up, things will become all right. The investor goes into inaction. He goes into freeze mode, and often he does not prioritize what he must do. Then the market eventually goes up, right? And he has completely missed that window of opportunity. And that further makes him all the more indifferent and upset that he has not participated. Now think about it, if the investor advisor engagement understood that the advisor is doing his responsibility, the investor did what is his priority, the two would have come together to get what the investor wanted and to create an outcome which comfortably will justify fees. Clearly, in multiple instances where an investor fails to get what he expects, one sees that there is a clear gap or understanding which is lacking. This gap has to be filled. Obviously, the advisor is also responsible. He is as responsible as the investor is, but the investor is the one who has to take primary responsibility. It is his money. He has to get the return. He can't externalize the whole responsibility to the advisor. There is another problem where investors don't act in time. They delay. They say they're busy, their work life is hectic. When they find, they will fulfill the investment actions as advised. Now this comes at a cost. When you fail to act in time, then you act late, and you may act at a valuation where prices have moved, or valuation has moved up or down when you sell. These come at a very heavy cost. And all these things boil down to one simple point, that there is an investor priority and an advisor responsibility. Investor must prioritize his investing over his other responsibilities, and the advisor must take responsibility and give priority to every investor, especially when the investor's portfolio is in a bit of rough. Because you have to pull it up by making him do a few things right when markets are down, or when his portfolio is down, or when both are down, which is usually the case. That in turn will bring everyone to a better place. The problem clearly is not fees. The problem is this collaborative culture which is lacking in our country, largely because the advisory universe or the ecosystem is at a very early stage. It lacks the kind of maturity and understanding which can bring it the desired efficiency, because Indian investors have a very high benchmark of what efficiency they want, but are not prioritizing on what they need to do, and the advisor is also failing to communicate to the investor about what he should do, because you are worried that the investor will go away if you tell the truth. So the truth is not discussed, everything is hanging in thin air, and a lot of people end up being not as happy as they ought to be, which effectively leads to a failure of our eventual objective, which is to serve the investor well. Thank you for watching.